Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Yesterday I made a video talking a little bit about recruiting, and we're talking about who's coming up next. Guys like Kai Bates, Amari Jefferson, we know when their commitment date is. They're locked in. Both decisions coming within the next couple of weeks. We also talked about Bennett Warren, Camarion Franklin, a guy who just tweeted out recently that his commitment date is coming soon. Also, Chris Cole, four-star linebacker. No decision has been set for those guys, but they are expected to come off the board soon. And some of you guys were saying, Boogie, what about Jordan Ross? What about Danny Akwe? What about this guy? What about that guy? Look, I'm talking about who was coming off the board soon. We're talking about how Tennessee can go from just inside the top 10 after landing Edwin Spillman and Mike Matthews last week. How do they pop into that top 5? What do they have to do? Who do they have to land? Well, there is a couple of 5-star elite level California kids that are supposed to be in town this weekend. 5-star defensive lineman Aiden Breland, also 5-star offensive tackle Brandon Baker. You make an impact on these modern-day California kids. You get them committed. You get them in the boat. That's how you go from a top 10 class to a top 5 class. Does Tennessee have a shot? Look, both guys have already been on campus once before. Breland was in town back for the 865 live event. Brandon Baker in town back in March. Both guys talking about making it in June, but it never really happened. Both are expected to be here this weekend. Tennessee having the big cookout on July the 29th. A lot of kids are going to be in town. Does Brandon Baker, does Aiden Breland actually make it in? We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But as always, do me a favor. Smash the thumbs up just below the video. That is quick, free, and easy. It helps this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not talking at you. We're talking with you. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click that bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live, when we drop a video. The NCAA streams return tonight. We're going live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight, talking all things recruiting, all things Tennessee football. We're right around the corner from fall camp. What are you guys excited about? We're going to get into it tonight, so make sure you come hang out. Also, Wednesday night, Kai Bates, 4-star defensive back, scheduled to make his decision. We're going to be live streaming that 6 p.m. Eastern time, taking you all the way up to that decision. So make sure you tune in for that. But let's jump into it. Talk about a couple of California kids. Does Tennessee have a shot? Aiden Breland, 5-star defensive lineman, according to the On3 industry rankings. Again, both of these kids are teammates out there in Santa Ana, California. Matter Day, defensive lineman, 6'4.5", 320 pounds. Now, the competition level out there, you guys know Coach Jay always talking about California football. These guys play at an elite level. So not only are they 5-stars, but they're competitors. The competition out there is very high. These are the type of kids, again, this is how you go from being 8th, 9th, 10th in the class of 24 to being top 5. Can you land one or both of these guys? How much is NIL a factor here for Aiden Breland and Brandon Baker? And we talk about, it's basically free agency in college football and how much money can you spend if you miss on a guy like Cam Franklin, you miss on a guy like, Williams Winery. Do you look at Aiden Breland and say, we've got to throw the checkbook at him? Sometimes you got to spend, sometimes you got to save. How much does NIL factor into these decisions? Let's talk a little bit about Aiden Breland. Again, he was in town back for the 865 live event. One of the reasons he is interested in Tennessee and wanted to give them an opportunity is because of Rodney Garner. The quote that he gave VolQuest about Coach Garner is, he says, "It is always a great thing, especially for guys like me who want to be developed to the highest level." So when you have a defensive line coach like him that has the proof in the pudding, it is kind of a relief. That is something that is important to look for in a school to see how you are going to be developed. It's nice to know that he is at the highest level when it comes to developing talent. So that's the quote on Rodney Garner. Again, that's the ace up the sleeve for Tennessee when we talk about recruiting. But how would you grade Rodney Garner on this class of 24 as of right now? At one point we were looking at it and you're talking about Elijah Rushing. You're talking about Williams Winery. You're talking about some of these elite level 5-star prospects, but also Cam Fountain, Cam Franklin. And things don't seem to be going so well on the defensive line when it comes to recruiting. I know we're still in it for Jordan Ross. Camarion Franklin says he's going to be scheduling his commitment coming up soon. Is it Tennessee or is it to Miami with NIL money? And that's, again, a question I ask about Aiden Breland. Simmons Scoop from July the 11th on Breland says, here's the buzz. Oregon received the final official visit in June. from Aiden Breland. It still seems to be undecided when he will make a decision. But the school I hear the most about now is Oregon. Georgia is very much in this. I'm hearing Texas A&M a little more now, too, after a successful official visit to College Station last month. Oregon is a school Breland is familiar with. They are recruiting Southern California well, and although the race is tight, they look to be the team to beat. You can see the On3 recruiting prediction machine there. But the question is, if Tennessee gets Breland, and then we're going to talk about Brandon Baker here in just a second, they get these guys back on campus for a second time. Can they make more of an impact? Can they make a move? I think the more Breland and the more Brandon Baker hold off on their decision, if they let these things go into the fall, I think the more of an opportunity that Tennessee is going to have. But we're talking about elite level prospects out of the state of California. Let's go take a look at Brandon Baker, also a 5-star offensive tackle. Again, this is how you get into the top 5 of the class of 24. Again, Santa Ana, California, Mater Dei, a big-time prospect, 6'4.5", 300 pounds, 5-star according to the On3 industry rankings. They have him as the number 1 offensive tackle in the country, a top 25 prospect nationally. You know, these kids, 25 and 26. Aiden Breland, easy for me to say, comes in as the 26th ranked player in the country. So big time, elite level prospects. And a guy like Brandon Baker, you know, what does Bennett Warren do? I feel like Tennessee set themselves up nicely coming off of the official visit. Talked about him in the last video. Seemed to be trending Tennessee after the visit, but then the way things have played out with the kid that committed, Michael Uini, commits to Georgia instead of Michigan. How does that play out? You find a way to land Bennett Warren and Brandon Baker. Sign me up and let's roll, because the offensive tackle position is locked down. Again, he took into practice back in March. He was on campus, seemed to enjoy the visit. One of the quotes I liked from him coming out of that visit said, Tennessee and SEC football is just different. You see the tempo, the physicality, how intense they are. You can definitely see it and feel it. He talked about the distance from California to Tennessee, said distance, league, none of that really matters. What's important to him is that family atmosphere, that dynamic, that culture. And again, we hear that so much with Josh Heupel. If they get him back for a second time, can they continue to build those relationships? The Simmons scoop on Baker said a decision by the end of the summer is still a possibility for Brandon Baker. Georgia received his last official visit in June, but the Bulldogs look to be done on the offensive line. Goes on to say Ohio State and Texas also had Baker on campus. There's confidence in both camps that they are still strong players in the race for one of the best on the West Coast. Baker has taken numerous visits to Oregon, and he is expected back in Eugene for a multi-day visit later this month. The Ducks continue to sit in a good spot for the offensive tackle, and they could end up with the final visit before Baker makes his decision. So both these kids, Aiden Breland, Brandon Baker, both have Oregon up there at the top of the list. They're high school teammates. How much does that factor in? Are they going to end up at the same destination, whether that be Oregon, USC, Tennessee? Are they going to end up in the same spot, or will they split up? Is that a factor? Again, you're talking about West Coast kids. I think it was Breland, maybe Baker. One of the two was asked if they had any type of relationship with Nico, or if they had talked to him while they were in town for their visits. And they both said he knew Nico, didn't really have a relationship with him, got a chance to talk with him while he was in town. So we'll see if that's a factor. We'll see how that plays out. But I think it would be big if you get both of these guys on campus, also get them on campus together at the same time for the same event. Maybe you can create some buzz. Maybe you can create some momentum there. What do you guys think? Jump into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Does Tennessee have a shot here? Does Tennessee have a shot at 2 elite level 5-star prospects? And again, as always, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Check this out. Look what is back. That is right. You guys asked, we delivered. The biggest mistake of my life, you guys said, Boogie, how dare you take away my Buck Family shirts? They are back. So if you want them, go get them. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Any and all support greatly appreciated. Got some new merch coming your way probably within the next couple of weeks. We're going to do a live stream to kick off fall camp on August the 2nd. Eric Kane's going to be in the house. Should be a fun show. I think we may have the merchandise ready to launch that day. So we will keep you guys up to date on that. And as always, thank you to the members of the channel. If you want to support what we do around here, hit that join button down below. It's $1. That's all I'm asking. If all of you guys can commit $1 to this channel, gives me the opportunity to do this full time as a career, as a job. I'm grateful. You get custom Talking Balls emojis, access to fan calling shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. But if not, that's cool. Smash the thumbs up. That's quick, free, and easy. Let's jump into the comment section and talk some Tennessee football, because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.